launcher.
This
Yeah.
virus is incredibly real.
No, not like that, Chuck.
Sorry! Wash your hands, people!
Imagine the places that
Jesus, I'm in commercial. I wish they'd let us put on
An ad blocker?
You got 3 seconds. 2. And we're live. Welcome everybody to the League of Legends match between Fountain Fort Carson and
Centaurus High School in Lafayette, Colorado.
Centaurus High School from Lafayette, Colorado. Good luck to both teams. Starting off in the band phase, we've got, let's see, which team is where? Well, over here is Fountain Fort Carson on the left side picking. Over here is going to be Centaurus. And up here, they get to ban champions from playing, so characters that they don't want to have to play against. Fountain elected to ban Akali, Zed, and Kled. So those are single laners. Akali and Zed generally mid lane. Kled is top. And interesting bans over here from Centaurus. Fountain Fort Carson's been playing a lot of Kassadin. He won't be able to do that this game because he was banned. They also chose to ban Nico and Vayne. First pick coming in from Fountain Fort Carson is Vladimir. So Vladimir, AP champion, providing a lot of lifesteal, and Kale coming in for Centaurus.
I think we'll probably see Vladimir on Lich in the mid lane, and Kale can either go top or... Well, because Centaurus is playing down a person today, unfortunately, that they have to play with 4, they have to decide if they're going to do 3 single lanes or skip their jungler. They have to make some extra tactical decisions.
Yep. I would probably think they'll go, just a single laner in each lane and then one person jungling. But we'll see what they do. Kale and Annie, so they're starting out with a lot of ability power. So Fountain Fort Carson could build some magic resist as of right now to be able to counter that. But I'm guessing we're going to see some AD champions coming up here. So over on the Fountain Fort Carson side, we've got a Misfortune and a Leona. So those will be the bot lanes today. I like that combo. If you can get that Leona crowd control, so you can E in, Q them, ult them, stuns the champions, doesn't allow them to move for a long time. While she's doing that, Misfortune can use that ult, just do a ton of damage, and hopefully come out with a win here. On the Centaurus side, you're seeing some late game champions. So champions that do have the ability to carry, so they understand that they're playing a 4v5 and leaning into that a little bit. Got a Dr. Mundo pick, so that's going to provide a lot of tank and be very, very annoying. In a good way for them.
It's worth noting in the ban phase that if a champion is banned, neither team can play that champion. So each team has to decide, do we think we can get the champion, or do we just not want to see that champion on the field at all? We don't want to deal with that. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into those picks and bans, and based on what we're seeing, it shows that both teams have done their homework on the other team, trying to strategically ban out those characters that they know that they're good on.
They are showing a lot of respect in doing that, actually. And up at the top, we got an Amumu ban over here. That's a solid ban. Amumu has been doing very well in jungle, high win rate. And Ashe ban down bot. On the Regis side, Regis chose to ban Warwick and Mordekaiser as their final 2 bans. One that sticks out to me there is Mordekaiser. Haven't seen much from the Fountain Fort Carson top laner other than Mordekaiser. So he's going to be forced into playing a champion that he's a little less comfortable with. See how he responds there. And final pick coming in from Centaurus is going to be Garen. So I would say Centaurus did a very, very good job of picking champions for a 4v5. They got Dr. Mundo, Garen, 2 very tanky champions. Annie and Kale, both champions that, if they get rolling, can do a ton of damage. And you're kind of spreading it out a little bit. Kale provides that sustained damage, so a lot of damage in a minute. You're going to do a lot more damage than Annie. Advantage with Annie is that she can do a lot of damage in 1 second, burst damage. Final picks coming in from Fountain Fort Carson are going to be Shen and Lilia. So we're going to see AP in the jungle, a little bit of tank there. So good team comps from both teams, and we'll kind of see how this plays out here. All right, with our next 3 minutes. Oh, I think I messed up.
No, you're good. Now you just have to switch to paint. It's just doing the entire screen
Okay.
right now.
Yes. So for those of you that are not too familiar with League of Legends. This is what you're going to see when they go into there. You're only allowed to see a little section, so you'll probably see about this much of the map at a time. And if champions provide vision, they can lay down wards to have vision. But if you don't have those visions there, you don't have people there or wards there, you don't get to see what's going on. So Fountain's going to start at this side of the map. They won't be able to see anything that's going on over on this end of the map. And same thing for Centaurus on the opposite end there. So there are 3 lanes, just the basics of League of Legends. 3 lanes, the top lane, the mid lane, and the bottom lane. Generally the top lanes and the middle lanes, it's just 1 champion versus 1 champion for most of the game. And the bottom lane gets 2 champions. You get an ADC, generally doing a lot more damage, can stand back and fire on them from a range. And the support, which kind of varies. You could have a support that focuses a little more heavily on damage, or support that focuses on stunning the other team and giving their ADC a little bit more advantage. So we'll see what happens there. We have 2 pits here, you'll see on both sides of the map. So this big long street going across the map is known as the river. And down here, we get dragons. So teams can, generally it takes a couple people to be able to kill a dragon pretty quickly. But if you kill a dragon, you can get certain bonuses. There's different types of dragons. So for example, Infernal Dragon will allow a team to do a little bit more damage. Mountain Dragon will allow them to kind of push a little bit better. Cloud Dragon allows them to be faster. And then over here in this other pit on the top side of the map, you get Baron. And Baron shows up generally around 10 minutes, or at 20 minutes. Before that time, it's going to be the Rift Herald. You kill the Rift Herald will kind of help you out and push for you, try to destroy some of these towers. And Baron just provides kind of that same idea, except it empowers your minions. So just the very, very basic idea. The end goal is to try to kill the enemy team's nexus. So these things right here, those are the nexus. And in order to get to the nexus, you kind of have to do it 1 step at a time. So you have to take, there's towers here all along the way, and you can see each lane has 3 distinct towers on their own, and then there's 2 towers here that are kind of defending the nexus. So to get all the way to the nexus, you kind of have to take it step by step to destroy this first tower. Then once you've done that, destroy the second tower, destroy the third tower. Once they've done that, they can take this right here. This is called an inhibitor. And if they destroy the inhibitor, then they get super minions. So you'll see about every 30 seconds, there's what's called a wave of super minions that kind of comes up each lane. And those minions just kind of help you push their not sure how to describe them exactly. They're within the game. They're not controlled by people. And they just can kind of help you kill the towers one by one. But there's a lot of mechanics that go into that. If you are a champion and you're able to kill those minions, then you get gold out of that. And gold can kind of help you buy items, do some different things there. So the more gold you have, the better. And you get gold from killing minions, killing champions, killing towers. And the more gold, the more items you buy. The more items you buy, the stronger you are, the more gold you can get. And eventually you'll be able to push through all those towers and destroy the enemy team's nexus. So there is a brief overview of League of Legends. Still have a loading screen here. We have a 3-minute delay since we're spectating, so we can't give either team any kind of advantage.
Okay.
Alright, so we have loaded in, and you can see down here is the map that I was just talking about there. So we can look all around the map. Like I said, you're only going to see a small section of the map at a time. Generally, there's not things happening all over the map at once, although you will see that a little bit once we get going. So Fountain Fort Carson, starting down here. Again, we got a 5v4 today. Centaurus was not able to get all of their people together to play, so we got 4 people on Centaurus, 5 for Fountain. So that is an advantage for Fountain if they can use it wisely, although definitely not a free win by any means. Alright, so it looks like Fountain's mostly going to stick together. We'll see if they decide to invade, go for the enemy team's buffs. And this game has about as steep of a learning curve as you're going to find from any game anywhere. So if you don't understand things that are happening, that's okay, neither do I. So Fountain is going to try to invade, going into the enemy team jungle. And it looks like it's going to work out for him because the enemy team is all over here at red buff.
Looks
Or
like
they're going to start at red buff.
were they spotted out by the enemy team yet? There was a ping. I
There
saw
was
a ping.
a ping. I think that was a Fountain ping though. I think they're
You can see the enemy team did Ward River right there. That
okay.
they
Yes,
just
so
spotted out Vladimir.
enemy team does know that something's going on, but they're not going to be able to stop Fountain from taking this blue buff. Shen getting going a little bit late, moving to lane there. I think he was helping out take this blue buff. Won't hurt him too much. Might miss out on a little bit of experience there, so we'll level a little bit slower. And we got a little bit of action going on mid lane now finally. So Vlad is a late game champion very much. If he gets into that like 30-40 minute mark, he wreaks havoc. He's very, very hard to kill because any life that you take from him, he'll just take it right back from you and heal it up like no other. Down the bot lane, so it looks like they are, and by they I mean Centaurus, is electing to go just 1 in the bot lane, 1 in the top lane, 1 in the mid lane, and then 1 jungler rather than keeping 2 in the bot lane and not having a jungler there at all.
Will you pull up the scoreboard for us so that we can watch their gold as it ticks up as well?
Let's do that. Scoreboard.
Turn on scoreboard and I think
Yeah, let's
objective
look at
timers
objective
too, and then
timers.
close that out. There we go.
Awesome. Okay, and it is matched up, it looks like. So, not a ton happening early on. Both teams are just going to kind of try to farm up as much as they can, kill those minions. Top lane, so this is what you get. Shen got back to lane just a little bit early, so he's going to have that wave pushed in on him just a bit, which is not too bad early on. Means he's keeping himself safe from getting ganked by the enemy team. Centaurus does have a lot of tank over there, so if they get to late game, that's going to be very hard to kill them, especially, well, Garen and Dr. Munda in particular. Got a little bit going on top lane. Looks like Shen's going to try to poke down Garen. End up getting poked down himself a little bit more. Again, he's playing on a champion that he's not quite as comfortable with. But Shen, as long as you use your ult effectively, so Shen, if he ults them, he can give his teammate a huge shield if they're about to get killed, and then he teleports to them, no matter where they are on the map. So as long as you use that well, you're going to be just fine with Shen. So he's just going to play this out, wait, farm the best he can, force the flash away there, so he won't have that for another 5 minutes.
And for those of you that are a little bit less familiar with League of Legends, every champion, every player-controlled champion has 4 distinct abilities. One of those is their ultimate ability that really brings a lot of dynamics to the gameplay. When those ultimates are or aren't used can make huge outcomes for different fights. And each player unlocks their ultimate at level 6, so when we see that level 6, that's a big power spike for each character.
Ultimate is generally the strongest ability, has the most impact on the game, but it also has a timer, so you won't be able to use it again for another, depending on the champion, usually about 60 seconds to like 2-3 minutes sometimes. So yeah, not a lot happening too much now. You saw Leona come up, Fountain doing a good job of watching the map, making sure their vision's good. So Shen gonna dive in on Garen there, and it does work out for him. It was a risky move diving into Garen's big wave of minions when Shen has basically nothing backing him up. Kale kind of struggling bot lane. Ooh, and we have a first blood, so Leona ignited him. Misfortune flashed. Got one last hit on him. That was enough for Leona's Ignite to do the rest. So first blood going to Fountain, and it'll be Leona that picks that one up. Not the person you want to kill, but hey, first blood is first blood, better than not getting first blood at all. And there is a dragon up. I think Fountain's going to be forced to back. But we'll see if they go for that dragon now. They do have that 5v4 advantage. So Centaurus is going to have a tough time contesting dragons, contesting Baron, Rift Herald. So we'll see if Fountain's able to use that to their advantage. Vlad doing a good job of farming, going invulnerable there. And up at the top lane, yeah, you're just going to see kind of a tank lane, so probably not a lot of action here. You see Mundo. I think he thinks that that was warded. It wasn't. But Mundo is going to be forced to back off. So it looks like Centaurus is kind of going for that late game. They're not going to be too aggressive. They're going to hope that their tank and their strong late game team comp is going to be enough to get them by here. And Lilia is going to pass by the dragon. I don't think she's quite strong enough to take it on her own yet. So she's going to try to gank mid. We'll see if she's able to take care of Annie. And Annie forced the flash, so she won't have her flash again for another 5 minutes. Something to keep an eye on. I'm guessing Lilia is probably going to go back there. She knows that she doesn't have that flash now, so it's going to be much easier to gank.
Yeah, I don't think Lilia would be too upset about, they forced that flash. They know that it's gone. Lilia went right back into the jungle and continued on her way.
Right, nothing to be upset about. No need to force it beyond that. You burned the flash. You did a good job there. Mundo going to go check out what's happening at Dragon. Place control ward. Get rid of that other control ward. He is spotted, so Lilia is going to head over in that direction. Mundo is going to back off. Not going to try to take this dragon. We'll see if Lilia attempts a gank here on bot lane. She has that control ward, so she knows she's not being watched right now. Although the second she steps out of that bush here, she is going to be seen by this ward right here. Mundo is going to go for the dragon. I don't think Lilia realizes it.
I think Lilia realizes it now.
Doesn't have it warded or anything yet, so I think Mundo might just be able to take this dragon. Lilia's just hanging out there. You got to make a move sooner or later. You're just standing there. You're not getting any kind of gold, any kind of XP, any kind of advantage. So Lilia recognized that Mundo was doing dragon after he took the dragon, trying to fight him down, but Mundo, showing some early strength, is going to take her out. So 1-1.
Yeah, there's one kill
Fountain
for
and Regis.
Centaurus there.
Or Centaurus, yes. So right now, Fountain does have a gold advantage up here. You can see Fountain has 11.4k gold. Centaurus only at 10k, but you got to keep in mind they're only playing with 4 champions. So yeah, naturally they're not going to get quite as much gold. And Vlad getting some nice poke in on Annie, recognizing that she has her stun up. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Once she gets to that 4, that means any ability that she uses after that hits you is going to stun you. Up in the top lane, again, still not too much happening. They're just trying to farm down. Shen at 21 farm, Garen at 58. So Garen kind of controlling the lane a little bit there for now. See if Shen's able to use that ult well. And there goes the flash on Kale. Forced the flash out of Leona's ult. I think that was a good flash because I'm not sure if he would have survived that if he didn't. Misfortune is at level 6, so I'm guessing we would have seen a couple stuns there in an ult. Kale gets out of that one. And up top, Shen just narrowly escapes with his life, getting that gank from Lilia. Who got the kill there? It looks like Shen got the kill there. So Shen now 1-0. Hopefully that gets him back in the game. He was down just a little bit on Garen. And Annie and Mundo. Mundo ganking mid. Going to take out this Vlad. Vlad can't be too happy about that. So keep an eye there. It doesn't look like Annie's going to try to push and take that first plate. Might be a little mistake there because it looks like only a couple autos would do the trick. And that's a whole lot of gold. But Annie's going to elect to back, play it safe.
And Vladimir's not too upset that he died. He has teleport up. He's gonna be right back in lane if he chooses to teleport. So
Yep. And
he got
there
a
it is.
death.
So Vlad right back at it. Still has the farm lead by just a little bit. But gold advantage is nice. He missed that cannon minion there. But he will keep on farming away. Let's see if something can happen bot lane. Kale using that ult, so going invulnerable for, I think it's a second and a half.
And the longer that the bottom lane goes on, the more of a level difference there is between Kale, who's earning XP alone in this lane, versus Fountain for Carson, who is splitting that XP. And the difference between level 7 and level 9
Yep.
does become
It's-
significant.
It is significant. However, that two-person advantage, I would take two people over a slight level advantage any day. Kale, to Kale's credit, doing a good job. Still able to farm even a little bit. I mean, actually pretty effectively. 81 farm, the best farm on his team, while facing two people in his lane by her. Two people in her lane by herself. I think Kale's a girl.
Well, we've generally been referring to the champion's gender and not the gender of
Yeah,
the player,
yeah.
which we don't know the
Gets tricky
genders
there.
of the players.
Shen forced the flash away, but a good flash. I think Mundo probably would have queued him.
Yeah,
knocked him
Mundo
down,
was
so-
Mundo was powered up there and,
He was
and
ready.
ready for kill.
Mm-hmm. So Shen doing the right thing there. Mundo's really looks like he's gonna get thirsty here. Gonna try to gank him from behind, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like they're
Under
ready
his
for that
own
tower
tower.
dive.
And Shen is gonna keep playing aggressive. Let's see if Shen can take out Garen all by himself before Mundo's able to get there. He won't. And Shen, without that flash now, it gets under his tower. Mundo's gonna take a couple shower shots, but it's not enough to keep him safe. So Garen's gonna start pushing in on this top tower. Probably be able to get a couple plates unless Shen has teleport and teleports back in there. And he does have that up. Annie poking down Vladimir just a little bit. Poke is not the most effective tool against Vladimir since he can just do... Oh, he's going to do it in a second here. Start to heal some of that health back on himself. And the further the game goes, the more and more those heals are going to impact the game in general.
Centaurus picking up the Rift Herald. Looks
Yeah.
like we'll see if they take that bot or mid, but that's a big get for Centaurus,
It
especially
really is.
playing down a person. That took some coordination to get Centaurus players in that pit to get
Get
that Rift
into a
Herald.
position. So one of the things we said early, Centaurus is going to struggle probably with the 45 to try to get some of these objectives like Rift Herald and Dragon. So far, they have the lead there. They got the first Dragon and they got the first Rift Herald. So.
Getting into a fight with Kale down here.
Yeah,
Looks
so
like
it looks
Kale
like
is going
Bot
to go down.
is going to get another kill there on Kale, and this one goes to Misfortune. So gold going into the right places now. And let's see if they're going to clear out some of these wards and go for an attempt on Dragon. They are. Mundo is up over here doing wolves. He knows that they're at Dragon now.
I think Fountain's pretty confident that they have 3 in the Dragon pit, and there's only 3 Centaurus members alive anywhere on the map.
Yeah, even if Mundo does come, he doesn't have much of a chance against the 3 of them. So they will take that Dragon uncontested. Gonna go in mid, check on what's happening there. Let's see if Leona can land an E. Wow.
And she
That
does.
was nasty.
Annie flashes out, but is she going to get away?
Flashes. So flashed and.
And I think
Ended up
Lilia
dying.
sleeped Annie on the way out there. Annie,
Mm-hmm.
she did what she could to get away, but
So Fountain regaining that lead. Up another 2,000 gold now. That's nice for Fountain. And Vladimir is going to transition his way up top. I think he sees that Garen is low health. He likes what he sees. See if they can make a move on him there. And Shen going to dive in there. Hopefully Garen's not able to take him out before Vlad gets there. He doesn't. Shen gets his second kill. Shen 2-1, Misfortune 2-0, Leona 1-0 down here. Great job by Fountain, utilizing that lead. Vladimir's just going to stay up top, it looks like. Maybe try to push. No, he's going to go back to his own lane. It's a smart decision. Not a lot to be gained here. We just hit the 14-minute mark, so that means the plates go away, so you don't get gold for hitting a fraction of the tower down now.
the tower plates up to 14 minutes make the tower harder to kill, so that you can't just have a team grouping up in the mid lane and just bowling through mid lane. But they also have a little bit of gold if you do get those tower plates down. So
Yep, and Annie gonna try to roam on her own. That great job by Fountain. You see all the wards there, maybe even a little excessive the amount of wards there, but Good vision, so Annie's not going to be able to do anything. She wanted to go down bot lane and see if she could get a kill on Misfortune or Leona. Not going to happen.
Can you go over here and change the vision just so we can show that? I think if you just go to all, and then go to, I guess we're on blue, right?
Yeah.
So just to kind of show you how important vision is in League of Legends, we just went to what only Fountain Fort Carson can see right now. So they don't have a lot of that vision in the red, and you can see those little ward points all around the minimap. That's what gives them that vision. That's what gives Fountain Fort Carson information to make decisions about where the other enemy team is and what they're going to do next. So without having that vision... Okay, so we're going to go with a pause. Not sure why that's happening.
But yeah, to your point
something in
there.
chat. Can you go to chat?
Let's see. Let's open up the chat, see if we can figure that out.
Looks like it is Fountain Fort Carson pausing.
So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, so to your point there, Annie was right here. She thought, oh, well, if this is all dark, I can just go down here. They'll have no idea where I'm at. And then I'll just show up in that bottom lane and just kill them.
Okay.
But, as you saw earlier, I know those wards have expired now, but there were a whole bunch of wards all the way down here. So she was being spotted from the second she even thought about doing it. So that did not work out for her. That's just an example of how vision kind of affects the game.
So I think, I'm not clear on who disconnected, but I think somebody on the Fountain Fort Carson side is having some kind of technical issue.
Sean's typing in Discord now.
So just quickly looking at, these are lined up so that they are respective to the lanes they're in. So up at the top is the top laners. We got Shen. Remember, he got a couple kills on this Garen. Garen got 1 kill back on him. So he's up 2-0 technically. However, looking at this farm, so this is how many minions they've killed. Shen's only killed 40 minions. Garen's killed about 102. Generally, it's about like 30 minions that equals out to a kill. So really, at first glance, it looks like Shen's ahead. Garen is actually ahead by 1 kill in terms of gold. And gold is really all that matters. If you have more gold, you have more items, you're going to be able to do better and be more effective in the game. These are the junglers here. So it looks like Lilia has 97 farm, Mundo 86, so pretty comparable there. Except Mundo has 1 kill, 2 assists. Lilia has 1 death, 2 assists. So fairly even. Mundo has a little bit of an advantage, and Mundo does carry into late game. Another thing to point out is that Centaurus does still have this right here. This is the Eye of the Herald. So this is what you get if you kill the monster that was in this pit, which they did. And when he decides to use that, you can see there's a timer there. He's got maybe like 30 seconds left, so he's got to use it in the next 30 seconds. When he does, that monster will reappear and start pushing in on some of these Fountain's towers to help them out there. So Fountain's going to force their kind of group and see if they can take out their Rift Herald before it does too much damage on their towers. In the mid lane, we got pretty even. Vladimir does have a little bit of a late game advantage on Annie. Right now he's down by just a bit. You can see 111 to 106 farm, very comparable. But Annie has 1 kill, Vladimir has 0 kills. So Annie has just a slight gold advantage right now. Bottom lane is where Fountain Fort Carson has the big advantage, and that's where they're going to have to really utilize that. You can see Misfortune is 133 farm, doing a fantastic job of farming. 2-0, she got a 250 gold bounty, so if they kill her, they're going to get an extra 250 gold. Misfortune's trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Brenda Kale is 0-2. And yeah, that's kind of expected when you're playing a single lane by yourself against 2 other laners, so that's just a result of the 4v5. And Leona, the only support in the game right now, is 1-0-2, so great job from Fountain's bot lane. They're really taking advantage of the fact that they have a 5v4, and Misfortune has by far the most farm on her team. So this is where a lot of the damage is going to come from, is Misfortune. So Fountain Fort Carson's kind of game strategy from here on out is just going to be make sure Misfortune doesn't die. We got to keep her alive because she can die very quickly if they get the chance to. But as long as they can keep her alive and keep her doing damage on the other team, they are going to have a heavy advantage overall in the game. Couple more minutes.
So I think just talking to some of Fountain Fort Carson's players, they're going to wait till about 20 minutes. One of the players has a situation at home, could be a medical emergency. We're just trying to figure out if they can come back or if we're going to be going to a 4v4.
Even things out a little bit, I guess. Hopefully everyone's all right.
So I think they said they're going to let the pause timer go to about 20 minutes to let that player try to figure their situation out. And then hopefully we'll be back into the action very soon. I'm not sure. I think we might be on a... I'm not sure if we're on a delay here or if we're not quite done yet.
How do you add somebody in Discord? Do I have to go to friends?
I think so.
All right, and it looks like we're back. They got it figured out. Fountain is going to stick with all 5 of their players, so going to be able to use that advantage. Now let's see what happens here. Leona's going to ult, and Kale must have just gotten that flashback because she flashed not too long ago. Lily is going to try to make something happen, but I don't think she has enough crowd control probably to be able to kill Kale that fast, so Leona's going to oh, they do get the kill. Misfortune, you can see how much damage Misfortune does.
Dr.
in a
Mundo
short
coming in
amount of
from
time.
behind to try to clean up, but he's out of there as well.
I think he was there to try to save Kale. Just got there a little bit too late and realized, uh-oh, I'm facing a 3v1. Got to back off here.
That was a great initial flash by Kale to dodge that Leona. You got to do that fast.
It
You got to
really
have a good
was.
reaction
Yeah.
time on that. So
Yeah,
that was a good
quick.
play.
Got a matter of maybe a quarter of a second. And Mundo going to chase down Lilia down that river. Lilia knows she's not going to make the mistake of trying to 1v1 Mundo again, but she does give Vladimir the vision to realize that Mundo's coming up. So Vlad going to back off, wait and see what happens. Both bot lanes are back right now.
You unmuted us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And Shen is out of the game. So maybe Shen did have to take off. It looks like Leona is going to go top, try to cover lack of Shen. I think Garen's going to be able to take that tower either way. Leona's not going to be able to 1v1 Garen. She realizes that, and I don't think she realized how low that tower was when she went in there. She's forced to use a lot on Garen, but Lily is there to back her up. Lilia with the red buff, able to easily take down Garen. So great job, Fountain. That Leona play worked out in the end. And Kale comes up top to try to help out, and he gets killed. Now Fountain is up 5v2 right now, leaving Annie to kind of push in on the tower. Doesn't matter too much at this point. Again, we're past that 14-minute mark, so you're not going to see much plate gold there. Shen is back into the game, teleports up top lane, so everything's going well as according to plan. Misfortune getting a chance to push in on Centaurus's bottom tower, and it looks like she'll probably be able to take that. There's no one around her. So that Kale went top, died, you saw that, leaving this bottom lane wide open. Misfortune going to push in on that first tower and able to take it. Fortunately, you get a little bonus gold if your team destroys the first tower. Garen was able to take the tower before Misfortune was, so that little bonus gold is going to go to Centaurus. And looks like Vladimir forced the flash away from Mundo. He realizes as soon as he stops becoming invulnerable, Mundo's going to kill him. Mundo really wreaking havoc, and actually allowing Annie to get a couple kills, which is exactly what you want. Annie's doing more of the damage. Generally, you want your damage dealers to take the kills if you can. And looks like Garen going to try to come in on them. Garen doesn't realize just how much damage Lilia and especially Misfortune does. Misfortune's been able to do a great job of farming. She's up 303, 158 farms, so like by far the most of anyone out there right now. Fountain's going to try to take this second dragon. Kale is going to come down. I think he recognizes they're doing it, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop them. Again, same situation as last time, 3v1. You're just not going to win that fight. You're going to end up losing dragon and dying. So just going to give that dragon instead, cut his losses. Misfortune didn't realize the Kale was there. Kale might be able to win a 1v1 if he had flash and ult, which he doesn't. So Misfortune able to poke him down just fine. And now Misfortune just building up on her lead, snowballing. Got 4-0-3. So Fountain's really doing a good job of that game plan. Keep Misfortune alive, let her do the damage, and everything will fall into place. Looks like Vladimir's in a little bit of trouble here. He is probably going to be able to escape out of that, use his item, but Mundo fast catches up to him, and he lands a stun. Vlad
used that pool escape a little bit early.
Yep, I agree. I think he could have saved that until he absolutely needed to use it. Maybe would have been able to get to tower, I don't know.
But also when you're being chased down by 3 people, including a Dr. Mundo, who is one of the faster champions.
Yeah.
I don't think Lich necessarily misplayed.
Nope. You just gotta save that until Mundo uses one of those Qs to try to slow you down, and then at the second that's gonna hit you, you gotta use that. Would have been a tough play to make. The one thing is Garen went down into their bottom jungle to try to stop that. So he allowed Shen to push in and farm a little bit. Shen not able to take advantage of it too much. Still down quite a bit in farm. 57 farm compared to Garen's 124. Lilia gonna try to poke down Garen. Lilia has really been doing a nice job of just covering all over the map. She's kind of been where she needed to be when she needed to be there. So credit there. And really giving Garen a hard time too, which is great because Shen kind of needs that with the gold disadvantage. Fountain's gonna try to take this top tower. Let's see if Mundo decides to come and contest them. Maybe not let him take it all the way.
Will you back us up a little bit so we can see that Misfortune shutdown in the mid lane?
Yes, let's look at it. Right here?
Yeah, I think maybe that's a little too far.
Yeah, we'll get some context.
Okay, so Misfortune's
Misfortune?
going to the mid lane.
Covering mid, she sees Annie's trying to push in to try to take that tower, so she's not gonna let her. Yeah, this is surprising. Generally, Annie is a nightmare for ADCs because she can just stun you.
I think that's what we're about
And
to
then
see.
burst you
There
down.
it was. Okay, yep, show
Yep.
Annie used her ultimate, and she's got enough ability power by this point. That wasn't as interesting of a kill as I thought it might be.
Nope. So that was the burst that I was talking about. Annie just does a lot of damage all at once. And that's a nightmare for ADCs when you don't have much health to be able to take that much damage. Shen gonna be forced to run away.
I think we'll expect to see it's Ferrum who's on Misfortune paying a little more respect to the Annie after that last kill.
I agree. Yeah, she got a little bit cocky there, thinking I'm 4, 1, and 3. No one can stop me. I'll just do so much damage. But you gotta remember, Annie is Annie. She can burst you down no matter what. And Annie is actually 5-2 and 0 to her credit, so she's the one that Centaurus is really gonna start counting on here to be able to do main damage dealer. And great play by Fountain. 3 of them coming up to the position just where they know that they're not being watched and just doing as much damage as they possibly can. Let's see if they're able to chase down the Garen. And there's that Annie play again against Misfortune. She's going to poke her down pretty low and does finish her off. But that cost her the positioning, and I think that positioning, she might be able to actually get away from this one. The positioning should have cost her her life. She does barely escape. Lilia taking down Garen, chasing him down in the jungle, so a little bit of split chase there. Not too bad, ends up working out okay for Fountain.
Looks like Fountain's gonna let Annie go. Yeah, I think Annie's gone.
Lilia gonna try to stop her from backing at least. I don't think they're gonna be able to dive that tower, and the tower just has a little bit too much health for them to be able to take it out and then take Annie. So yeah, they're just gonna let her back right now.
But Lilia was able to slow Annie down a little bit, and sometimes seconds are precious.
Be an annoyance to her. And seconds are precious, especially when you've got a dragon coming up, so stopping Annie from getting there quite as fast. Both teams are seeing that, recognizing. You're going to see them start to transition their way towards this dragon. It'll be up in maybe 30 seconds. Leona doing a nice job of placing a control ward by the dragon, so they have the vision advantage. And Leona lands a nice E on them. Kale backs off, goes under tower. So Fountain, recognizing that Dr. Mundo's in position to be able to start maybe taking this dragon. Kale's going to transition down there. So we're about to see our first real actual team fight of the game, hopefully.
Yeah, we see Garen coming down the river as well. It is 4-on-4 right now with Shen dead in the top lane.
Yep.
They are on a fairly even footing.
And I think actually Centaurus probably has the advantage in a straight up 4-on-4 at this point. But that is not the case if they can do some damage on Annie. And a fantastic ult by Leona, followed by a great ult by Misfortune. They're going to have to do a good job of making sure Misfortune doesn't die in this team fight. She's their main source of damage, and she does. So this Mundo is now going to be able to take these other two out pretty easily.
Yeah, that Mundo came in from behind and did big damage.
They kind of ignored Mundo. And while you don't want to focus Mundo, you don't want to be attacking him over anybody else, you also can't let him start just doing as much damage as he wants to your ADC, the Misfortune, who's your main source of damage right now. Lilia able to do a little bit more damage, but Vlad is still kind of at that point where he's just not quite to that late game mark yet. See, we're at 25 minutes, 30 seconds here. Once it starts to get to, I'd say like 30 minutes, or once Vlad is able to get a couple more items, he is going to be a beast. Even though he's only 1-4 right now, that champion just scales so well.
That was a great play from Centaurus. They were able to win the team fight and
It was.
snag that dragon.
Especially considering how bad it started for them, because they got ulted by Leona, ulted by the Misfortune, so did a lot of damage real quick early, but that's where you're talking about Centaurus' huge tank. The Garen, the Mundo are getting tanky at this point. Even Kale has a little bit to her. And it looks like Fountain's just going to finally get frustrated enough with this top tower being low. They're just going to go in, take that down, get a little bit of gold there. They know they have bottom lane pushed, so they can afford to send 3 of them top lane. Although someone is going to have to go bottom eventually. You see Kale pushing in. He's going to try to take this bottom tower here. So Fountain able to take the top tower.
It's also not great to let Kale free farm, or really let any champion free farm for that matter.
No.
As they farm down there killing those minions, they get that gold, it puts them up in the items.
And Kale has done a very good job of farming in a solo lane. Like a 1v2 lane, especially against Leona, generally you have to stand back a ways, or just give up some minions rather than take all of them. But able to keep up with Misfortune in terms of farm.
Shen barely able to get away there.
And you see Fountain starting to transition into this bottom lane. I think they're going to try to make a play on the bottom tower. They know all of Centaurus' players right now are in that mid lane. They're going to back. It's an interesting call. I don't necessarily agree with this call. I would like to see them really just push in. They could get that tower pretty quickly with the 3 of them. But they're going to back, choose to defend, play safe. I guess maybe the logic there being we're waiting for our players to develop a little bit more. We know this Vladimir is going to come on. We just got to wait for him to get there. Sensing a little frustration right now. Fountain has the 5v4. They're just not able to get a lot done with it at this point. And the longer this game goes, yes, the stronger Vladimir gets, but also the tankier and harder to kill that Mundo and Garen get. And if Mundo's able to do that during team fights, the same thing he did last time, where he just kind of went in the back of them and just destroyed Misfortune, their damage dealer, that's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot for Fountain to be able to overcome. So they're going to have to really focus on keeping that Misfortune safe and out of danger.
Yeah, Fountain is a little bit squishy. They have a pretty high damage output, but it's bursty, and after they kind of have that initial burst, they get a little bit squishy. So
you saw it in the first team fight. Yeah, they did a lot of damage quickly at the start, and then ended up losing somehow.
Fountain needs to pick their team fights. Well, they both need to pick their team fights carefully. But if Fountain wants to win the game, they need to control the rules of engagement.
We're seeing a close game here. Generally, at 30 minutes. One team has a kind of a clear advantage, or at least somewhat of a blossoming advantage. Neither team really does at this point. Both teams have taken about the same amount of towers, roughly the same amount of kills, about the same amount of gold. Fountain with a slight lead there, but that's going to happen in a 4v5. Leona lands the E on Kale, but her team is not there to follow up, so Kale's going to be able to burst them down. Meanwhile, Garen is teleporting in, destroys the team with that E. Leona gets killed, and Misfortune able to deal a lot of damage, so that's what I mean. Keep Misfortune safe, keep her dealing damage, good things are going to happen. Mundo is able to take her out after she gets that double kill. Oh no, that wasn't Misfortune. So Mundo's now going to try to take Misfortune out. Misfortune barely able to escape, so that was Shen that Mundo went. Really kind of a mistake on Mundo's part. If I'm Mundo, I am 100% focusing this Misfortune every single time.
And that was some impressive playing from Misfortune. She got that triple kill there and just barely was able to stay ahead of Mundo. That really speaks to that player's just clicking ability to be able to move and attack alternately in an effective way.
Yep, kiting is a skill that takes years for a lot of League of Legends players to develop. You got to click here, click there, click here, click there, and be able to alternate back and forth while you got a million moving pieces also happening. So, yeah, great job, Misfortune.
Yeah, kiting is a skill I decidedly do not have, and that's why I stick to melee champions for the most part.
Same. Alright, and so Fountain is able to get another tower. It's 3v3 now. Oh, I'm sorry, able to get that dragon. So Fountain now with a 3 dragon lead compared to Centaurus' 2. So Fountain can get this next dragon that'll come up in about another 4 minutes and 16 seconds. They'll get the Dragon Soul. Once you get 4 dragons, you get Dragon Soul, and Dragon Soul has an added bonus on top of what the other dragons give you. So that'll be a big advantage if Fountain's able to get that. Vladimir is going to have to really try to get out of this. And with that Q from Mundo, I don't think he's going to be able to escape this time. Again, use that pool a little bit early.
He had his team coming up, but he wasn't able to make that out.
Nope, he got caught out.
Is it correct that it's the Soul Dragon that gives the Execute, or is that the Elder Dragon?
That's the Elder Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, so after Soul Dragon, after one team has 4 dragons, another 5 minutes goes by, the Elder Dragon will show up, and yeah, that gives...
That's the Execute buff,
It gives
right?
the Execute, yeah, so if you get a champion below, I think it's 15, 20% health.
20%, I think.
Yeah, then they're just immediately dead.
So we're not there yet, but I think that
Nope.
Fountain probably has that on their long-term game plan for
Yeah,
this
and
match.
it seems like this is going to be a long enough game where we are probably going to see an Elder Dragon one way or another. And neither team too keen to fight the other one right now. Choosing their fights wisely. And Fountain knows that, their Vlad was down, so he's trying to come back up. They're trying to wait till they have all 5 champions together, have that advantage again. Fountain seems to think that they need to go into this bot lane, make sure they don't get that last tower since it is a low tower. Make sure they don't get that taken from them. And with not a lot else is happening on the map, you see Centaurus' team is starting to kind of group around the Baron. Still 32 minutes, so if they got their whole team there, they could theoretically do it. I don't think it's going to happen. That'd be a lot of time where there'd just be an uncertainty about, are they going to show up? Are they going to show up? So not going to do Baron quite yet. They're just going to back, spend some gold, buy some new items.
And Baron is that big worm-looking guy in the pit there. If any team is able to kill them, that gives not only the players a big buff, but their minions a big buff, and that really helps them push into the enemy base. So Baron is a big buff that looks like Fountain is going to try to do.
Yeah, he is a big, beautiful monster, and Fountain's able to... Generally, you don't see him losing health this fast, so they are really shredding at that Baron. But they're being watched now. Centaurus has a ward in there. Centaurus is going to try to steal it from him at the last second. They are not able to do that. Lilia gets the Baron. Misfortune gets a great ult off on them. Probably going to be able to take out this Kale. Kale does take out Misfortune. And he's only going to be able... Ooh, she stuns both of them with that ult.
And he's going to come in and clean this one up.
Yeah, so the Baron buff only lasts if you are still alive. So Lilia at this point, I know, is being chased by Annie. It looks like she will get away. That crazy amount of speed. So Lilia and Vladimir are the only 2 that walk away with the Baron buff. Vladimir is going to try to take advantage of that Baron buff. The enemy team sees him. They're not going to be able to do a ton about it. I think Annie knows that he's going bot, so she'll probably transess him that way too.
And the minions are going to keep the Baron buff, but both
Yes.
Leona, Misfortune, and Shen from the Fountain team are all missing out on that Baron buff. Shen stood there in the Dragon Pit for a couple seconds there and really got the hurt put on him by Kale, I think, before he realized that he was getting damaged from afar.
He did. And you see all these minions are kind of glowing purple. They do a little more damage than normal. They're much harder to kill than normal. That's because of the Baron buff. Walking away from him.
That was a great
Oh,
Cinder
look at
Cone
that.
from Liched.
It really was. Yeah.
He's not out of the woods yet, though.
No, he's still being chased down. So yeah, Centaurus is trying, almost getting a little thirsty there. But if Mundo can land the Q and chase you down, there's not a lot you can do about it. He's very tanky at this point. Haven't talked enough about Mundo. He's 5, 4, and 7, building straight tank items. So he's very, very difficult to kill.
And there is that not the Elder Dragon,
You see it's an Infernal Dragon.
Infernal, thank
Yep,
you.
so if they are able to take this Infernal Dragon, they'll get the Dragon Soul, but both teams have a strong presence at Dragon right now. Shen up in the top lane, getting a little extra farm. He needs to stay there. Oh,
Shen's
he's going to
ulting.
ult in. So Shen ulting in on Leona. See Leona as the shield. Shen will show up here in a second. Now Fountain has all 5, making a smart play. I think with the 5v4 advantage, they're expecting that they're going to be able to take this dragon out and be able to kind of hold off Centaurus' players. Although the dragon right now is just poking them down. They're not doing dragon damage on dragon. Dragon is doing damage on them. Centaurus is just going to hang on, wait until that dragon is starting to get low, and then they're going to make the move in. Seeing that now, Misfortune able to get back behind that dragon and just gets a fantastic ult. Gets triple kill. Vlad gets the last one. They do take the Infernal Dragon, which means they get the Infernal Soul. Now a huge lead by Fountain. Huge
Fountain.
gold lead, huge objective lead.
And Fountain still has that Baron buff too, so they're going to be able to do something with that push.
Yes.
Leona has had, or not Leona, but Misfortune just has had some great positioning on
She
some of
has.
those ultimates.
Yep.
And right before that fight started, Garen was right on top of Misfortune. She flashed away and started shooting the other direction,
Yep,
and that was a great
Centaurus
play.
did everything right. They attack the Misfortune first. They know that's where all the damage is coming from. Like you said, yeah, that ultimate is just all about positioning. If you are positioned right when you use it, it can be so effective. You just saw it took out the entire team there. Or you position it wrong, you're standing still, you're kind of stuck in one position, you can get bursted down like it's nothing.
Yeah, Centaurus, they played extremely well. This game is pretty much over at this point, but I think had Centaurus had a 5th member, the outcome would be way less certain.
I'd say it'd be almost in Centaurus' favor. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
Would
would
have been closer. But
Fountain's
Fountain is
backing
able
off
to
for
get
now.
2 inhibs there.
Remember, the inhibitors that they just took out are going to let Fountain spawn some super minions that you see on your screen there. That little guy with the shield.
Yeah, this guy is a super. Oh, this guy is a super minion. That's why his moves do a lot more damage. He's very, very hard to kill.
And that just, it draws Centaurus' attention away from what Fountain is doing, and they're forced to focus a little bit more on what are these minions doing? What are these not-player characters, invading our base as well, so.
Yep, they really have to focus there. If they don't focus there, the super minions are just going to continue to push all the way into their 2 towers here that are guarding the Nexus. So now Fountain's eyes are on just kind of getting this Nexus. You see Baron's down. The dragon is down, so they don't really have a lot of objective things to go for other than just kind of grouping, hopefully getting one more good team fight, killing them again, and I think one more good team fight if they're able to kill all 4 of Centaurus' champions again, this game will be over. And Fountain is starting to group. See all 5 champions coming together. Looks like they're going to push in on the mid lane. Centaurus is grouping as well. The Garen is struggling to get there in time. Yeah,
Garen's waiting in the bush behind Fountain. I don't know if Fountain's aware that Garen is behind them.
I don't think so. I think he's hoping to maybe push in and try to get rid of the Misfortune before she kind of deletes the enemy team again. Misfortune does have her ult back up, I believe.
Yes, she
Yes,
does.
she does. So watch out for that.
Thanks to our new subscriber.
Woo-hoo. Alright, so Fountain got all 5 in the mid lane. They are successfully pushing in, using that super minion wave.
We see Mundo coming in from behind this time, just trying to get an angle on Fountain.
Kale forced the ult there. She does, but not able to do enough damage before she is killed. They do kill the Misfortune, Centaurus does, but that's the only one they're able to kill. Team finishes it off. Nice zone is there by Lilia to not get killed by that last tower shot. And now Fountain just going to continue to push in, take out these 2 towers. They'll take the enemy Nexus and win the game. So
Again,
game 1 goes to Fountain for Carson.
And that was a good play from Centaurus. They really pinched him in. They went
It
for those, they went for those high damage champions first. Yeah, I think if they had that fifth member, we would have seen a different outcome on this one.
Yep, Centaurus doing everything right, just kind of not able to pull that off with the 4v5 disadvantage. So, great game, GG everybody. We'll see what happens here in game 2.
Switch back to our launcher.
All right.
Yeah, and then we should get an invite for the next game here.
All right, and we are back for game 2. Let's see, Italian Thick Boy gonna ban Cassidon as the first ban, so they really don't want to play against Cassidon.
And the teams did switch sides for this, so Fountain's on the right side now, Fountain in red, Centaurus in blue, so they did switch sides, which makes it a little hard to follow from game to game.
Yes, first ban from Fountain gonna be Zed, followed by an Akali ban, so it looks like both teams gonna do the same ban strategies we saw last game.
That Lilia ban from Centaurus is new. They decided they did not like Fish Lord's Lilia, and they don't want to deal with it.
That's right. Yeah, they didn't ban Lily. I forget who the second ban was last time, but Cassidon and Vayne both bans that we saw last time. Zed, Akali, Kled, all three bands that we saw last time. So for the most part, good bands. We have Lilia ban, like you said, gonna force them into a different jungle for this game too.
Oh no, that's a Nico ban, isn't it? If you hover over.
That is Nico. Okay, that's what they banned last time. Okay,
You know,
yeah.
when there's 150 champions.
Lilia and Nico are pretty similar design, actually. Both like those bright colors.
Yeah.
Swain going to be the first pick coming out of Centaurus, followed by Ash. I'd like to see Centaurus pick Hecarim, the Centaur. It only makes sense, you know?
Right, that does make sense. It also makes sense that they would be the Centaurus Centaurs. But
It does, but alas.
Wikipedia told me otherwise.
Ash is going to be the first pick out of there, so slightly different. Saw the misfortune last time. Interesting that they're choosing to go away from what worked last time, but I know they are very comfortable on Ash. We're going to see the Vladimir again. Looks like Centaurus is going to switch up champions entirely, going Swain, Diana.
Swain and Diana could go top or mid. It's hard to say where they're going to put that champion.
Yeah, I'm not sure where either of those are going to go necessarily. Swain's been played ADC, support. He can play pretty much anything at this point.
Nunu and Willem probably going to be their jungler for this one instead of Dr. Mundo.
Mm-hmm. And we've got a Leona pick again.
Okay. So we're back into another round 2 of our bans. Let's see what Fountain doesn't want to deal with this game. Dr. Mundo.
Dr. Mundo, that's a good call. Yeah, but Mundo, had it been a 5v4, I think you would have seen Mundo really start to pound away, chip away, especially at that misfortune. So good at getting at the back line.
Yeah, because Mundo moves fast. That Mundo ban is a little confusing to me, though, because they had already picked their jungler with Nunu. Maybe they just didn't want to deal with Mundo anywhere on the map, but
Yeah.
I think Fountain could have big brained that a little more.
Adjusted a little better. And there's the Garen pick, which, again, same thing. Like, Garen, yes, had a good game last time, but you got to assume either Swain or Diana probably is going top.
Centaurus also banned out the there's the Lilia ban that I was waiting for.
All right, so Shen and Lilia, both of the solo laners from last game now banned out.
So we're gonna see Plug on his Mordekaiser that he feels very, very comfortable on into a Malphite. I think that Malphite's probably gonna be top.
Something that stands out right away. I don't know if Centaurus, what their strategy is here, but Swain, Diana, Nunu, and Willump, Malphite, all champions that do almost entirely magic damage. So Fountain's strategy here is going to be building a lot of magic resist, and they do have at least 2 people, maybe 3 if you include Vladimir, that can build magic resist or put some magic resist into their build, and that's just going to make it so that Centaurus has a very difficult time doing damage at all against them.
And Fountain picked their jungler, Fishlord, going in on the Graves, and Fountain does have a good mix of magic damage versus just regular physical attack damage.
Yep, some tank, some damage, yeah.
We'll see how Centaurus chooses to build.
Yeah, Centaurus, just because they're all magic damage doesn't mean they're not scary. I'm scared of this team. Seeing that thing about Malphite ulting in, followed by Diana can jump in there, do a lot of damage. So they can get a good combo here, and I think that's what they're going for. It's just a nasty team comp, just comboing them down.
Yeah, and I think, it'll be about timing if they wanna get off that combo.
Yeah, I think they gotta. Well, but from Centaurus' standards, they just all have to be in the right place. And Fountain, really one of the keys here is going to be spreading out, being together but being spread out. If you are all in the same place, like all in one tiny little section of the map, what's going to happen is Malphite's ult is going to hit you, knock all of you up, and then the rest of them are just going to be able to follow that up, do that damage, and finish you off.
I think that Centaurus may be moving their lanes around a little bit, because I think Italian Thick Boy was in the top, and it looks like he picked a jungle character this time. So they're doing some massaging to kind of their team composition and who's going to be where.
Yes. Yeah, Italian Thick Boy giving a good massage.
Props to Centaurus for sticking. Props to
Anyway.
Centaurus for staying in game though. Like it's not easy to play 4v5, but it looked like in that last game they kept up their attitude really good. So that speaks not only to the players, but it also speaks positively of Centaurus as coach. So shout out to whoever that may be.
Uh-huh. We'll see what happens. Top lane is back on Mordekaiser. That's the champion he's most comfortable with. I'm not really sure how they're going to spread out these lanes exactly. I would assume Nuno's going to go jungle. But the rest of these three could, kind of go anywhere, really.
I would guess Malphite top, Swain in the bottom, and Diana mid. But yeah, they have some options, and that may kind of be what Centaurus is counting on right now.
Mm-hmm.
They may even try to pull off some different lane swaps and try to get big brain on Fountain.
Alright, get you into the game in 20 seconds. I do like Fountain's bot lane. Got Ashley on a combo.
It's the big one-eyed dude from Doom.
I don't understand Generation Z's memes. I don't understand.
Yeah, no gameplay?
Yeah, switch back to gameplay. Otherwise, we
Here we
would
go.
look at that screen the
Yeah.
whole time.
Alright, so look at their masteries. Just kind of a general idea of how much they've played that champion.
Yeah, the masteries on the top for Centaurus bode well for them. It goes to show that those are champions that they feel comfortable playing.
Mm-hmm. Seen a little bit of that from Fountain. The Leona, no mastery. Mordekaiser, I don't think has a mastery yet. He is comfortable with Mordekaiser. I just don't think he's built up enough levels to be able to gain a mastery yet. And I did see Leona last game. It's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. She landed a couple actually really nice E's. A couple of what would have been nice ults had they not gotten flashed out of. So Leona doing a lot of things right there.
Aiden
You
left?
left. What did he say? Did he say anything?
No, it just sounds like they're playing 2v3.
Yeah, their coach said that we're doing well. They don't have their 2 GCs here today. So he's like, well, we could play down 2, but you guys are holding your own against us.
Okay.
I said, whatevs. I'm just glad Matt was able to stick around.
Alright, and 3-minute delay is set, so we are in the game. Fountain now going to start from the top side, so Fountain is going to be over here in red, and Centaurus is going to be down here in blue. Looks like Centaurus, not sure who that ping came from exactly. I don't know if that's Fountain's idea, thinking they're going to invade, or just Centaurus saying they want to start red. Looks like Fountain does want to get something going here, so they're going to head over into this bush, see if they can get an early kill and that early gold advantage. They're all going to wait. And they do spot one out. Let's see if it's going to be enough. No, we get the early flash from Swain. Still a solid advantage from Fountain. Swain now has no flash, and it looks like he's going to be the solo bottom laner, just like Kale was last game. So without a flash, maybe expect an early gank from Fountain's jungle toward that bot lane. Pick up a quick kill on Swain. Both teams starting this game friendly. Good luck, have fun. A little spooky wookie talk, I guess. That's that Gen Z humor you were talking about. Alright, and Fountain is invading. They're going to take the enemy's red buff, but the enemy realized that. They know they're going for the red buff, so they're going to take Fountain's red buff, so just a little friendly exchange there. We'll see. Graves can make a huge impact on a game if he's able to get a lot of effective ganks and things like that. He can also, if he doesn't get going, since he is kind of a champion that depends on doing a lot of damage and doesn't have a lot of health, doesn't build tank, he can also cost a lot, like just by not being as effective as he could be. So kind of a champion of two extremes. Either going to be very good or very not so good. Graves going to get an early gank in on Diana. Maybe force the flash out of her. No, Diana does get away with her flash. She will be forced to back. So that gives Vlad a chance to just kind of free farm. Make sure he gets all these minions. And make sure he levels up a little bit faster. So that'll give Vlad a nice little lead going into the middle lane. Seeing Malphite kind of push in on the Mordekaiser. Bottom lane, remember Swain has no flash, so he's going to have to play very careful for these first 3-4 minutes. Ashe is just going to poke him down from afar. Not a ton of action early, so there you see Vlad pushing in. Gonna push all of these minions into the tower, make it just a little bit harder for Diana to pick up some of that farm, get the last hits on the minions where you can get that gold. Vlad doing a nice job of poking her down while she's farming, so not only has the advantage, but utilizing that advantage too. Bot lane also pushing in, applying pressure on Swain. We'll see whether this will. It's starting pretty slow. We'll see whether this will continue to be a slow game. Not too many kills, just playing smarts, playing safe. I know that's Fountain's strategy. Some teams like to go a little bit more aggressive, a lot more ganks, trying to get those kills, build up that lead early. See what's happening in this top lane. Mordekaiser standing back, he's just going to get the farm that he can, and he does pull Malphite in. Malphite able to trade with him pretty nicely. Mordekaiser really needs to focus on last hitting these minions, making sure he gets the killing blow in so he gets that gold. Graves sees Nunu. I think Graves might be able to win this fight if he can stay at a distance from Nunu and just continue to do damage. Not going to happen there. He's just going to walk away, go back into his own jungle, continue farming. We do have a dragon coming up here in a couple seconds. I don't think either team is in a position to take advantage of that yet, but it's going to be an infernal dragon, one of the stronger dragons early. So whoever gets that is going to get a nice little lead going here, even if they don't have first blood. Keep an eye on all lanes. Both jungles are in the top lane. At this point, there's not a lot to be gained from Graves being up there, so he's going to go back into his own jungle, maybe go do these Krug, get a little extra gold. Vladimir, looks like Diana is going to back. She does a good play there to stand out of Vladimir's range when she's backing. So Vladimir doesn't know where she is on the map. He thinks she might be backing, she might be going to gank another lane. So he's concerned. He's not going to push as hard as he could if he knew that she was backing. But he is going to push, build up an advantage, make sure that Diana doesn't get that cannon minion. So Vladimir already reaching level 6, Diana still at level 5. up some action coming in top lane. Looks like Nunu is going to gank for Malphite, and Malphite is going to ult, get that first blood kill here. Graves arrives just a little bit too late. I don't think he's going to be able to do much damage on the Nunu. He might be able to get a kill on Malphite. He's not going to attempt it, though. I think if Nunu had turned around, Malphite was able to stay alive for long enough, they could have killed Graves and it would have turned around on him. So he just wisely backs off. Centaurus has the lead right now, 1-0. Although, with that 1-0, Fountain still has the gold lead by almost 2,000.
We pull up the scoreboard.
Yes. And it looks like Centaurus, is going to go for this first dragon.
Fountain's not even going to contest it.
Nope, Fountain's not in a position to be able to contest it.
So we've seen first dragon from Centaurus twice now.
First dragon, I got first blood as well. That's an infernal dragon, so that's a good little advantage for Centaurus.
I believe if you mouse over the dragon at the symbol up top, it tells you exactly what kind of buff it gives.
Yeah, so +4 attack damage, +4 ability power, so just a lot more damage overall.
And it's just free stats for Centaurus. They didn't have to pay for it. They didn't have to level up. They just had to kill that dragon.
It's all there for him. And it's an early one, so that's going to last throughout the game. Swain now very low mana, so he can't use too many more abilities before he's going to have to back. Fountain realizes that, and I think Centaurus realizes that as well. That's why the Nunu's hanging around, giving him a little extra support, encouragement. Fountain kind of hanging back. I think they're afraid of that Nunu coming in and ganking him again.
As they should be.
Yep. But also lets that wave push in so that they can't get ganked and can still farm pretty effectively, forcing Swain to take that back. Check in top lane. Malphite now has the advantage. Although I will say Mordekaiser struggled to farm last game. Doing a much better job this game, actually beating Malphite's farm by just a little bit. And Malphite ults in on that Mordekaiser, able to just barely take him down.
I think Mordekaiser's mistake there was going into a full minion wave, and it was a lot of minion damage that he was taking besides just that Malphite damage.
Yep, you see when you have your wave basically gone, the enemy team's waves there, yeah, that's not a time you want to start a fight. Nunu's going to gank in mid against Vladimir. Vladimir gets that W off just in time.
Pulls out and
will escape without really taking too much damage. Diana going to go in on him, see if she can make something happen. Vladimir able to lifesteal just enough, live long enough to get that kill. He will get killed by Nunu, but Nunu gets killed by Graves. So Graves, right place, right time.
not a bad trade for Fountain, 2v1.
No, yeah, 2 kills for 1.
Yeah, Graves was just in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if Graves decides to go for the Rift Herald here with Nunu being down. He won't. He's just going to continue to farm up, gain that gold. One thing that sticks out to me, Misfortune last game had some nice CS. That's continuing on into this game. See Ash with 83 farm. That's like almost 20 more than anyone else on either team. So great job in utilizing that advantage in the bot lane, that 2v1 advantage. And Nunu now has vision of the Rift Herald and knows that the other enemy team doesn't have vision. She's going to go and try to get another gank on the Mordekaiser. They're really focusing top, trying to build that top lead. I'm not sure that's the place you want to be focusing, especially when your bottom lane is in a 1v2. Getting Malphite fed is nice, but not the most important on your team. Rather get a Diana fed or a Swain fed. See a little trade happening mid, and Nunu is going to, no, not going to take the Rift Herald, just going to take out the ward there, and head top again as she sees Graves is trying to make a play on Malphite. They recognize Nunu is coming top. They're going to try to back off, but Malphite has his ult up again. Graves not able to do enough to get away. Mordekaiser going to really do his best to try and take him out. Vlad shows up, so Vlad recognizing that good vision on the map, saves his teammate, gets a kill. Not going to be able to take out Nunu, so he flashes away. Nunu maybe gonna, nope. Doesn't think that Nunu doesn't think that she can take that tower damage, so she backs off. Vlad gonna walk away with another kill. So now Vladimir up 2-1 early. Vladimir will carry into that late game very well. So gonna start to be a little bit more of a force to be reckoned with. Fountain's bot lane, gonna take it back where they can get it. I think they have an item spike right now, so they're gonna go back and buy. Fountain starting to recognize that this dragon is going to be up. Got about 15 seconds left. They lost that first dragon by just not having the vision, not having the positioning. You don't want to have that happen a second time. Second dragon, it looks like, is going to be a cloud dragon. And Graves does arrive, places a control ward, so he sees that the enemy has vision. He's going to hit this dragon once to pull it out, so that allows, or doesn't allow, Centaurus to be able to just go over this wall and take out dragon at the last second.
Centaurus does not want to give up this dragon. They've got
contesting
all 4 members.
Very, very heavily. They got all 4 members. So it looks like Fountain, yeah, gonna have to give up the dragon.
Centaurus, yeah, did not want to give up that dragon.
No. That does allow Mordekaiser a chance to push in on that top lane, maybe take out a plate or two, and start to build his advantage back. Wow, Centaurus really being aggressive, but it does play off. They tower dive heavily against Vladimir. They are able to get that kill, but like I said, Mordekaiser now able to push that tower. Not enough though. As Swain's gonna
go
teleport
in.
in. But Centaurus realizes what's going on. Mordekaiser, rather than backing off, went forward out of that tower range, but gonna pay the price for it there. So Centaurus going all over the map. Meanwhile, Ashe coming in bot lane, gonna take out a couple plates. So Ashe really building that gold advantage. I think it's deceiving, but Ashe is very scary right now. Like by far the most farm. She has a kill, 0 deaths, so she hasn't given up any of that extra gold. And just gonna keep pushing because it doesn't seem like Centaurus is gonna do too much about it. Swain's trying to get back as fast as he can. But he had to teleport in top to keep that Mordekaiser from pushing too hard.
Yeah, Ashe got 3 plates there before we just see the turret plates falling right there at 14 minutes into the game.
3 plates worth almost 500 gold. So more than a kill there. Ashe does get pulled by the Swain. The Diana comes down to help out. Ashe somehow almost escapes from that, but Diana does clean up. So now Centaurus maybe with a chance to push in on bot lane a little bit with Leona Vlad back mid. Let's see what happens. Looks like there's some action happening around the Rift Herald. Graves just going to poke down Nunu while he can. Yeah, neither team got a huge advantage for the fight there. Fountain now does have 4 people at this Rift Herald, so they're going to try to see if they can take this out quickly.
We'll see if Centaurus wanted this as much as they wanted Dragon, and it doesn't look like it.
Oh, Nunu's just going to walk away, so they're going to let Fountain take this.
They either don't know or they're letting it go.
I
think they're letting it go.
I agree.
Graves is going to pick up that Rift Herald, and we'll see where Fountain chooses to drop that.
Yeah, if they can use this well, especially with that 5v4 advantage, this Rift Herald can do a lot of damage. Ashe now, back in that bot lane, so Centaurus is not able to do too much there. And actually, Centaurus is really trying to group, and I don't think that's a great strategy at this point in the game. It's still a little early to be grouping because now both of these outside lanes, Ashe and Mordekaiser,
Are getting
go
a
in
solo
uncontested.
farm. Yeah.
Solo farm. And Ashe is probably going to be able to take out this tower. It doesn't look like anyone's there to stop her. She might just err on the side of caution. She's not going to. She's going to continue. She'll get this tower uncontested. Meanwhile, Fountain, Swain trying to make a play in that middle lane. Fountain is going to clean it up. Vladimir is there. Diana got killed a little bit early. We missed that kill.
That's a big power spike for Vlad. A couple of those kills there can get him an item and can really help him get going. Fountain choosing to drop the Rift Herald in mid here right now.
I think that's a good call. It's going to force Nunu to start to back off.
It'll
Nunu
get
is able to,
one hit off.
yeah. So Rift Herald able to take out a good chunk of that tower, but Nunu played that well. Not going out from tower range, but still kind of killing the Rift Herald. I think Fountain,
Nunu
almost able to get that pull or that grab on Nunu. Fountain needs to use that Rift Herald just back a little bit further. Doesn't
Yeah.
give Nunu the chance to take out Rift Herald.
Or give the tower a chance to start shooting it before it can get a charge off.
Exactly. And there you go, Mordekaiser getting the kill in on Malphite, getting some revenge there. Ashe able to take down the Diana after she gets bursted down. So Fountain starting to build their lead and gets a kill lead back. Now up by 7 gold, or 7,000 gold on Centaurus. Nunu just going in circles, does get that snowball off on the Leona. Both pretty low damage champs here.
Yeah, Leona's pretty tanky. She's
Yeah.
just going to walk away
I
from
don't
that
think
one.
there's a lot that's going to happen. We do have a dragon coming up again in 15 seconds. Someone pinged it, they recognize. So right now, yeah, Centaurus does have the dragon lead, and that's how they're going to get back into this game. If they can get that dragon soul, it's going to be tough to contest. Fountain realizes that they are not going to allow this dragon to just be taken from them as easily as it was last time. Although Centaurus got a head of steam into this dragon. Now Fountain is going to teleport in. We saw him teleport from Centaurus last time for the dragon. So Fountain at a 5v3 should be able to take out this dragon. They do get a pull on Leona. Leona gets pulled back and gets a nice ult in there. So they're going to see a team fight. Graves gets taken out. Mordekaiser gets taken out. Wow, Centaurus is doing a fantastic job of focusing.
Swain did some big damage there. Fountain was
he
able
did.
to pull it out, but
He
Swain was
did.
able to do some big damage there.
Swain had that life steal that kept them alive for so long. They weren't focusing him entirely. Had they focused him entirely, would have been able to take him out. Only a couple people focusing him, and he was able to like use that life steal to stay alive for a long time and really wreak havoc. But Fountain wins in the end. The 5v3 advantage does work out for him. They are able to take the dragon. So now Fountain with 1 dragon, Centaurus with 2, and Ashe doing the right thing, staying, focusing on farm number 1, focusing on pushing in number 2, because all of Centaurus' people are now down. And this middle tower is low, so if she's able to land a few autos on it, they will take out that mid tower. So now Fountain with 2 towers, Centaurus with 0. And if Fountain can group, they're going to want to push that in even more. Ashe taking her back there, probably got quite a bit of gold. Yeah, you see her get the Blade of the Ruined King now, so Ashe, 2 full items and boots. More than anyone else.
You see Centaurus grouping back up in the middle, just trying to get something going, get that mid tower down, and open up their map a little bit.
And Centaurus has been group focused, group centric, which I'm not sure about the strategy when you're in a 4v5, because again, Mordekaiser up here now is a chance to take out that top tower. They are coming up for him, so they end that group a little early.
I don't think Mordekaiser's going to make it out.
Oh, Mordekaiser needed to get back earlier.
Yeah, they're going to
And
spot
they're
him out in
gonna
that
come into
bush.
this and there he is. Does provide a distraction for Fountain.
Mordekaiser's,
yeah,
holding his own there for a little bit.
Yep. I'm guessing he will get taken out here eventually. But a lot of time being wasted, a good distraction. Maybe even not quite going to get the kill on Nunu. Meanwhile, though, Fountain taking out the Diana mid at a cost, but they
And
do
the
get her
Swain.
taken out. And the Swain. So now they're mid with no one blocking them. Gray is able to take out another tower and still pushing. We'll see if he pushes all the way into the base tower. He does. He's going to recognize that Nunu's there. Try to back off. I think Nunu might be able to get a kill here. Chasing down. Graves doing a lot of damage. You're doing a good job of kiting there, like we said.
Yeah,
Run,
we're kiting
hit,
again.
run, hit.
Looks like they're both gonna
Nunu's gonna
back off.
Yeah, they respect each other.
Graves may also know that Malphite is nearby. But Graves, he accomplished his goal. He pushed that tier 2 tower in.
Yep. Utilizes Mordekaiser's distraction. Yep, Mordekaiser stayed alive for a long time there. Actually played that out very well.
He did. He should have backed before he did.
He
but
definitely should have, but I mean, yeah, ended up working out for him. See Diana push in there. Leona doesn't do enough damage to really go in on her own. More of a crowd control champion. Focuses on stunning, landing that ult well. Vladimir, I should say, now has a 500 bounty, 500 gold bounty, meaning he hasn't been killed in quite a while, and he's doing a good job. 6 and 2, 141 farm. So yeah, Vladimir now a scary champion at this point. Fountain definitely has an advantage. We'll see if they utilize that. Leona lands the ult. Vladimir is going to provide some damage, focusing on Nunu right now, which is interesting. Ashe able to just take him down like it's nothing. You see the mouth ult does land on Ashe and Graves, so he gets what he wanted, but the 4v1, not going to be able to accomplish much there. So Fountain going to take their victory and back. Looks like Vladimir, gains all of that life back in no time. They're going to try to push in the mid lane. Diana forced to back with low health. Leona's going to stick with Vladimir. She's not too good on her own, but with someone else, very dangerous. So yeah, now Fountain has all 3 lanes free to push. You see Mordekaiser pushing in on the top lane. Might be able to take that top tower out. Vladimir and Leona are not great pushing champions, but they are able to get enough to get that mid tower taken out.
And hopefully get out of there before Centaurus all shows up. Yeah, it looks like they're going to get out of there.
Mordekaiser, slowly but surely. And there it is, takes out the top tower. And we do have a dragon coming up, 15 seconds on the dragon. Both teams recognize Centaurus, I think, is a threat. They just all got to back here. Fountain hasn't taken it back in a little bit, so...
Centaurus is in a little better position to start this dragon, waiting for Leona and Vladimir to show up.
I think so, too. I don't think they realize how good a position they're in, because Fountain's flexing on them there, letting them know that they are present.
And Fountain is here, but we'll see if they choose to contest this dragon.
Centaurus not going to be able to take it down fast enough. It looks like Mordekaiser is going to get there, so they are going to have the 5v4 fight. Here comes the Malphite ults in on Ashe. Ashe gets a shield, able to take him down. And only one left is Malphite. He's just going to run away. They're going to focus Dragon rather than him first.
So Fountain was able to take that dragon, and they're chasing Malphite down.
It's 2 and 2 on dragons. Fountain
may choose to go get Baron buff after this, or they might just want to push. I think they're going for Baron.
They're kind of having an internal debate, saying no Baron, yes Baron. They are going to go for Baron. And they should be able to take this pretty easily uncontested.
Yeah, Centaurus just got their first 3 respawns. They're not going to be able to walk to Baron before it's done, and that's just going to be another buff for Fountain Fort Carson. They're probably going to back after this and then make some kind of push.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, right there, Vladimir just got a few more kills. So 700 gold bounty. If they kill Vladimir, they get an extra 700 gold. That's as high as that goes. Vladimir's deadly at this point. Graves got a few kills in there too. Graves has been doing a great job of consistently farming. Hasn't gotten a lot of kills up until this point, so he got going on his own too. 450 gold bounty there. Ashe is still a force to be reckoned with. 183 farm. Still the most farm on the team with 6 kills.
I think Ashe finished her third, I think she's finished her 3rd item. Vladimir's finished his 3rd item.
Yeah, Ashe is not quite on that 3rd item. She's about there.
Oh, okay, she's building a Lich Bane, it looks like.
Yeah, Vladimir finished that 3rd item.
Vladimir building that Banshee's Veil, tired of Nunu rolling that green slime ball into his face.
That's exactly what it is. Graves escapes out of that Swain trap. So now Fountain looks like gonna go with a little bit of a split push strategy. They got 3 in the middle lane. They do Ashlane's ult on Diana. The follow up from Leona and follow up damage is enough to kill her. Meanwhile, Vladimir splitting in this bottom lane, so trying to push those minions into the tower, forcing Tataris to make a choice. Do they want to defend the middle tower, or do they want to defend the bot tower? They're choosing to defend the middle tower, so Vladimir is going to keep pushing in here uncontested. Fountain able to take that middle tower even with Centaurus trying to keep it. So we'll see if they go for the inhibitor here. They do have the Baron buff. That helps quite a bit. Vladimir able to take that bottom inhibitor. They are able to get the middle inhibitor. Now it looks like they're going to keep going. They might go for the win all the way here.
Yeah, they've got 2 lanes full of super minions and Baron empowered minions starting to pour in.
Right, Centaurus only has 3 champions up. Swain is down for another 12 seconds. They do nice ult combo there by Centaurus. They got the Diana ult combo, pulled them all in, while Nunu is also ulting, so they get the Nunu ult damage. And they are able to take out the Ashe.
And that just shows again that Centaurus there are good players. They're making good decisions. And again, if they had had a 5th member, this would have been a different match.
Yeah, solid combo there. So it's keeping Fountain not going to be able to end the game yet. They are going to probably get this Leona kill. Not going to be able to escape. Mordekaiser does not continue to push into that top lane. I think he could have done some solid damage to that top tower. They're just going to back off, wait till they have all 5 members again. And my guess is just make one final push. Should be able to end it all.
To Centaurus' credit, though, they didn't go down there.
Nope. They stayed strong. They didn't overextend their reach. Yeah, just not quite enough. We saw, I think little things would have gone different, which would have built into more and more. I think maybe having 5 champions there, you would have been able to take a couple more dragons, maybe even get to that soul dragon. Just open things up a little bit more. So Fountain catches Nunu out a little bit. Nunu is able to quickly escape, use that speed. Gets a quick ult off, and Vladimir's going to come in here, finish off the Nunu, and try to make some work of this Diana. They do get the Graves there. Vladimir, you can see him using that advantage. No one is going to slow him down now. Even these tanks. I mean, Malphite's pretty tanky. You see the damage that Vladimir's doing there.
Even though Vladimir's, he's not worried right now.
Very low, uses the pool, and there's that heal.
Yeah, Vladimir was not worried with all that life steal.
Nope,
yeah.
This is why you don't want to get Vladimir fed, and you certainly don't want to get him fed and let the game go to late game.
I think this is probably going to be the final push. Centaurus doesn't have anybody alive to contest this.
Yep, that super minion is going to be able to tank the tower long enough for them to take it. See Fountain take the enemy nexus.
And I believe that's game.
I
think our animation stopped a little bit.
You can fill in the blanks. Fountain Fort Carson going 2-0 today, so they will make the playoffs.
I believe that will send Fountain Fort Carson to state. We're currently ranked number 13, and that shouldn't go down since we just won. But I don't think that's going to knock Centaurus out of state either. They're ranked number 11.
I hope not. They deserve it.
Absolutely,
they played
they do.
solid games here today. Just down that one play.